Welcome to the Afrobeats Report, where you get the lowdown of what's happening and what has happened in the lives of your favorite Afrobeats musicians. Also, with a cherry on the top, we will tell you the meaning of those Afrobeat songs you love so much and teach you how to pronounce them right. Tune in. In this video, we bring you the top 10 best Nigerian Afrobeat artists right now. Without further ado, let's get right into it. At number 10, Asake, Mr. Money. Ahmed Ololade is a talented singer and songwriter. He studied dramatic arts at the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. While he was a student, Asake released a few songs and they gained popularity in the university community. His first song, Mr. Money, was released in 2020, earning him 3 nominations for the City People Music Award. He won 2 of these nominations and continued to make music. Asake rose to stardom in 2020 with his popular EP Asake, which had Omo Okwe featuring the YBNL boss Olamide. This song was a game changer for Asake and got him signed to the YBNL family. Since this big announcement, he has consistently blessed his fans with hits. He released Sungba a few months ago, and after, Burna Boy fell in love with the sound and they collaborated for a remix. Other singles from Mr. Money are Palazzo, Peace Be Unto You, Baba God, and the hottest single in Nigeria right now, Terminator. At the beginning of this year, he claimed 2022 would be a special year for his music career, and he's been right so far. He recently posted his newly acquired home and car on his Instagram. Number 9, Kiss Daniel. Anidugbe Oluwatobiloba Daniel is undoubtedly one of the hottest Afrobeat artists presently. Before 2018, he used the stage name Kiss and not Kiz. He signed a record deal with G Worldwide in 2013, but he had issues and pulled out after disputes. His first hit in the industry was Woju in 2014, and it was one of the hottest singles that year. The song earned him a nomination for the hottest single at the 2015 edition of the Nigerian Entertainment Award. On his birthday in 2015, he released another banger, Laye, and dropped the visuals just 2 weeks after the song was released. A year later, he released his first studio album, New Era. 2 years later, he released his second album, which featured a lot of big names from Africa. His third album, King of Love, came in 2020. This album had the hit single track, Ada, which had a good reception. His recent album titled Barnabas, which he released in 2021, holds hits like Oshe, Barnabas, Pour Me Water, and Lie. In 2022, he released Buga. According to him, he did not expect Buga to be as popular as it is, but Buga is arguably his most famous song at the moment and one of the hottest singles trending. Number 8, Meyoko. Adewale Emmanuel Mayowa is a songwriter, pianist, and singer. Meyoko, like many other artists, started building his music career from the church. He was part of the choir where he learned some basic things about music. He is a graduate of accounting from the University of Lagos. After Davido released The Money, Meyoko made a cover, singing and playing the piano. This got Davido's attention, and he decided to sign him to his label, DMW. Meyoko, in no time, kept building with Eleko in 2016. The song's visuals gathered millions of views after its release. Shortly after, Meyoko released Love You Tire, which featured Mr. Easy. In preparation for his first studio album, he teased his fans with some of the songs on the project. He released Cheche, Posh, Sade, and a few others. Finally, in 2018, he released the entire Mayor of Lagos, and the album appeared on the Billboard World Albums chart by the end of the year. Mayokun has dropped several sweet songs and continues entertaining his fans and followers on his media accounts. In 2021, he announced his exit from the DMW group and signed a new record deal with Sony Music. Under this label, he released his recent album Back in Office. He's been on top charts recently with his latest release, Certified Loner, that was released on the 17th of June. Number 7. Buju. The famous Afrofusion singer's real name is Daniel Benson. He grew up in Lagos but is from Akwa Ibom. He started writing songs in his junior secondary school days. He joined his school choir and started doing solo performances at school events. This continued while he got admitted into the university. His name, Buju, came from a coinage he made for himself. Beauty underneath just understood was the meaning of his former stage name, Buju. He begged Zlatan for a feature on this track on social media, which Zlatan eventually reposted and did a remix of the song Spiritual with Zlatan without collecting a dime. Along the line, Buju met with Burna Boy and he remixed his new single then, Lenu, and funded the video. This was a huge one for him as the song video made many people discover him. In 2021, he released his EP Sorry I'm Late, which featured the likes of The Cavemen, Timmy J, and Rexy. Buju began to headline shows and perform his songs. He even had a tour for the EP and performed in London for the first time in his career. February 2022, Buju announced the change of his stage name from Buju to BNXN. He claimed he did this to avoid confusion about being identified as Buju Banton. Shortly after this change, he collaborated with Fields. They released one of the biggest songs of the moment, Finesse, which topped charts and gained popularity even before its standard release. He recently released his new EP, Bad Since 97. Number 6. Davido. David Adedeji Adeleke is one of the biggest and hottest names in the Afrobeats industry. After coming hard with his first single, Damiduro, he won the Next Rated award at the Headies. In 2013, he released Gobe, which made the list of the top 10 songs of that year. Later in 2016, he signed a record deal with Sony Music. A few months later, he established his record label, Davido Music Worldwide, DMW, with artists like Dremo, Peruzzi, and Mayokun. 2016 was eventful for him as he released his first extended playlist, Son of Mercy. Early into 2017, he released If, and this track is one of his most outstanding singles as it got global acceptance and many people covered it. 2 weeks before his birthday in 2017, he released Fire, which also did well. In 2019, Davido dropped his sophomore album, A Good Time. This album had smashing hits like Assurance, Blow My Mind, and Risky. The Skelewu crooner continues to serve hits back to back, and he has built a substantial fan base over the years. He has also worked with many big names and achieved a massive feat with his feature in Coming to America and featuring on the official 2022 World Cup song. Davido is tagged the king of Afrobeats in Nigeria. He has a lot of awards to his name and holds the record of the most followed Nigerian celebrity on Instagram with 25 million followers. At number 5, Rema. Divine Ikubo, popularly known as Rema, is one of Nigeria's new generational Afrobeat artists. The 22-year-old started his music career in his church choir, where he worshipped with his mom as a kid. He built and maintained his sound and style, and after several struggles and hustles, through the help of the Prince, he got signed by Jonesin Records and met Don Jazzy, who later signed him to one of the biggest record labels in Nigeria, Mavins. Rema showed himself to the world with his single, Do Maybe, released in 2019. He later appeared on Barack Obama's list of favorite songs, won the Headies Next Rated, and bagged several other awards. His other singles are Beamer, Soundgasm, Corny, Iron Man, Woman, and many more. Rema's recent album titled Raves and Roses is one of the most streamed Nigerian albums. The hottest track from this album has gotten incredible recognition globally and recently got a remix feature with American singer Selena Gomez. Rema currently has 3 extended playlists and 1 album. Number 4. Fireboy DML. Fireboy DML is a stage name used by Adedamola Adefolahon. He studied English and Literary Studies at the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, and graduated in 2017. During his time as a student on campus, his impressive writing skills helped him come up with beautiful songs, which he recorded alongside the company of his friends in campus studios. With time, he became part of the recognized artists in the OAU environment alongside Chinko Eku, Black Bones, and Ashake. In preparation for a great future, Luck shined on Fireboy when one of his friends, who has a close relationship with YBNL, called to inform him that Olamide is interested in his music. He got a personal message from Olamide to the effect, and the next day his big journey started when he stepped into the YBNL house. The following big news about him that made headlines was his unveiling as the latest YBNL artist. Immediately after, he released Jealous, then What If I Say. These 2 singles marked him clear and ready to soar high in the music industry. Few months later, he released King, which surprisingly gathered impressive numbers. However, DML took a short break and returned with his first studio album, Laughter, Tears, and Goosebumps. 3 days after he dropped this project, his Spotify streams surpassed 5 million. About a year later, he released his sophomore album, Apollo, featuring tracks like Tattoo, New York City Girl, and Ellie. Interestingly, Fireboy gained traction when Olamide was forced to leave Peru. Peru traveled far and wide and even trended on TikTok. Months later, he released a remix with American artist Ed Sheeran, which also did well on music charts. Fireboy has continued to remain relevant as he released his 3rd studio album, Playboy, in 2022. He bagged the Best Afrobeat Single with Peru at the 2022 Headies Award. Number 3. Tems. Temiloluwa Okpeniyi, popularly known as Tems, has been an incredible addition to the Afrobeat industry and one of the females giving her fans hits on a daily basis. According to her, she was forced to learn music production all by herself, allowing her to write, sing, and produce her own music. She hit the global stage hard in 2020 when she featured on Wizkid's single, Essence. This feature earned her first career entry on the Billboard Hot 100. Tems went on to feature on 2 of Drake's albums, Certified Lover Boy and I Never Liked You. A few months back, she appeared on Beyoncé's album Renaissance as a guest artist and later did a cover to No Woman, No Cry by Jamaican artist Bob Marley for the Black Panther Wakanda Forever soundtrack. She currently takes credit for 2 extended playlists for Broken Ears and If Orange Was a Place, which won the Best R&B Album at the 2022 Headies. She also won a Grammy Award and topped the Apple chart, the BBC One Extra Airplay chart, and Billboard Hot 100, among many others. Number 2. Wizkid. Ayodeji Ibrahim Balogun, known as Wizkid, is a Nigerian songwriter and artist. He signed a record deal with EME Records in 2009, where he released Holla at Your Boy, which pushed his name out. This was a part of his first album, Superstar, which was later released in 2011. This album had other hit singles like Tease Me and Don't Doll. In 2014, Wizkid left EME due to the expiration of his contract. After releasing his second studio album, he got featured by Drake on One Dance, and this gave him a global push. This feature was responsible for Wizkid's appearance in the Guinness World Book of Records. In 2017, he signed another record deal with RCA Records and in no time released his third album project, Sound from the Other Side. In 2018, he got another global feature, this time with Beyoncé on the single Brown Skin Girl. And this collaboration won him his first and only Grammy Award. In 2020, after so much anticipation, he finally decided to release Made in Lagos, his fourth studio album. This album produced his biggest song, Essence, featuring Tems. By the following year, Wizkid became the most streamed Afrobeat artist on Spotify with close to 4 billion streams. His fifth studio album, More Love, Less Ego, is cooking and will be released soon. And at number 1, Burna Boy. Ogulu Ebuoluwa Damini, popularly known as Burna Boy or African Giant, is a legendary figure in the Afrobeat industry. In 2012, he dropped Like to Party, the first track from his LIFE live album, which was released a year later. In 2015, he created his label, Spaceship Entertainment, 8 months after he parted ways with Aristocrat Records. His second album was ready and he released it in November 2015. A year later, he dropped his first extended playlist. 3 years later, his third album was released and won the best album of that year. This album had the hottest single, Yay, which ended the year as the best song of 2018. Just the year after, Burna kept his music alive and gave his fans exactly what they wanted with his fourth studio project, African Giant. In the middle of the pandemic year, he released another album, Twice as Tall, which increased his album number to 5. Afterward, he got his first ever Grammy win for the Best Global Album. His sixth album, Love Damini, was released in July 2022. Burna has found his way into more people's hearts lately with his energetic and unique live performances. The ability to carry the crowd along is one fantastic thing about the African Giant. And that's what we have for today on Top 10 Best Nigerian Afrobeat Artists. This has been the Afrobeats Report. Subscribe to stay up to date on the news about your favorite Afrobeat artists. See you next time and keep listening to Afrobeats.